the Apogee, and I didn't get to do anything today on it because I did a little spring cleaning. Basically, had to do a little reorganization. I had to move vacuum form stuff over in one pile. I basically had it spread out. Had to restack and remove lots of totes. As you can see, they go all the way down. That's how I keep track of molds, bucks, all type of kit forms or conversions in my little world. It's just easier to keep it organized that way. You can see up here I've got a lot of molds, and this is just a fraction of it. I got it stashed all throughout the house. You know, Nostromo, that's actually a kit. You know, but it just, oh, forgot I bought this. And I don't know if it's probably usable. This is an old cake pan from the 70s, and it's supposed to be a spaceship, kind of X-Wing, I guess, but I always thought it'd make a nice ragtag fleet ship, just like the Apogee there. I thought you could make a vacuum form kit of that and then add detail on it, and I think it would look pretty darn slick. But anyway, one of them things I kept, and hopefully we'll get to do one of those someday. What is that? Ah, that's actually, well, I'll say it. That's actually a clay sculpt for the Mobius flying sub, which I am the proud owner of. And I have a few original sculpts too, so you know, I may have to show them someday. But anyway, I didn't get to do anything onto the Apogee, but the Enterprise C. I went back in with Mr. Decals, and I don't know where I left off last time. If I can kind of show it in light. I did get the secondary hull, got it all done. Got the other side, got it all done. Bottom is basically done. Basically need to go back in with a knife, cut the holes, and take Mr. Microsol here and just brush it on and really cake it on, just to get everything smooth out and everything. I did get the top of the nacelles here, these decals on, but I got to go back in with Mr. A Sharp number 11, because you can see where it's kind of crinkling, and that's smoothing out. But I got to go in and do some slicing, and then get some water with Mr. Brush here, and just basically paint it on and just work it down till it finally gets the air out and it sinks down and looks a-okay. Did get the shuttle deck thing platform decal on, got the pylons there, and then basically and I'm probably not gonna put decals on this week. I want to probably wait till the weekend, because I got to do the sensor lines, and what I'm going to do is, and since they're long and these are continuous, I'm actually going to cut them down the middle just to make them a little bit manageable, and it's going to take me probably a good day just to put on some, you know, and walk away, you know, because I do my 2 decal rule. I try to put 2 decals on a day, or if you do it like on the weekend, you know, every couple of hours, put a couple on, walk away, come back. You know, it's a little longer, but you won't get that rush feeling, and it's just an easier way to do it, and you won't get mad at the kit. But after decals, I got to go back in. I got to paint just a little bit. You see where when tape peeled up some of the acrylic? So I got to go back in and paint some of that in a few other little places, and then do a little shading and all that. But anyway, decal duty is taking shape, and see, it gives the basically 3 blues. You got duck egg blue, light blue, and then the decal blue is what I call it, and it just makes it more. And plus, once you get the registry on here, it'll make it pop even more. Plus, we've got to paint the phaser strips, and of course the lifeboats. But anyway, there is that on the Enterprise C. Up next, and for me, and I'm going to start, and I went ahead and I was about 5 to 7 figures, and they're going to run around $3 to about $5, depending on what I want to do. I haven't really quite decided yet, but I'm going to do some standardization on my figures. The bodies will be different, but the heads and the arms and the weapons will probably be the same. This way, you can have basically 2 sets of arms, about 2 sets of weapons, and you can mix and match, or you know, get your own hands and everything. But I started with the I call it the beret guy. I like him real well. Started with him. Detail on it's pretty darn slick. So what I done is I took just a set of arms and cleaned them off and super glued them on. Now, I don't know exactly which arm set these are supposed to take. I mean, I'd have to sit here and do a little detective work. But what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of epoxy sculpt and just fill in any gaps or anything that's, you know, like you can tell here on the arm to the torso, just to bulk it up just a little bit, and basically ready to go. And clean up, it's a little bad, not a whole lot, you know, there ain't a whole much to it. One thing about the filler putty for a casting, it's a little softer than resin, so actually when you take off material, it's very, very quick and easy and not brittle like resin is. If you ever scraped it with a knife, it'll you know, once you get hard and jaggy. But anyway, the putty on this is actually a-okay. So I started working on him. I got and this is I'm going to call it a miscast because part of his hat ain't formed. I'm going to fill that in with epoxy sculpt, and I will build and paint this one. And then this little guy here, the second one, which I just basically stuck his head on. Basically going to get a body. You can tell where I haven't cut nothing or anything like that. I got to trim off the flash, which is no big deal. I want to put his head on, and then I got different styles of arms, so I'll be able to you know, mix and match, change which one I want. But I want to make everything pretty much standard, so when I cast each kit, basically the body will be different, but the arms and legs will pretty much be the same, and that way you can you know, mix and match and make what you want. So I'm going to paint these, and it's going to be kind of quick and dirty because I'm going to take pictures and basically show you what it looks like painted. But anyway, it'll be fun. And these are basically going to be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Battlestar Colonial Marines is what I'm planning on. But you can use them for special forces, you know, Vietnam, whatever, or excuse me, newer, you know, modern day warfare, Call of Duty type stuff, you know. So anyway, that is that, and so we'll continue on with that this upcoming week. But anyway, that's what I have got going on today. Trying to get more on the Apogee, but we got to do a little cleaning. Doing some casting on the figures so we can have fun building and painting those. And of course, decal duty continues on the Enterprise C. So that's what I got going on today. So stay tuned for the next, and I should have a shed update. So stand by for that.